there ever a character that's come across your proverbial desk where you were like, I don't know if I can, that intimidates the shit out of me?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've had that specific thought, and I'm trying to think of what it was. I feel like it was a few years ago, because my career really began with mostly comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably wasn't until like Westworld that I started being hired to not be funny on some level.
Yeah. Well, there was a swagger to that character, a sexiness to that character, if you will, if I might be so bold.
I love you.
That I think is that people may have in the audience, maybe in the people that were hiring, that allowed them to potentially see you in a different light. Because I know as a viewer, I did for the first time, where, or at least in the work that I'd seen you in, because I'd always known you as in comedy. And your performance in Westworld was very different that I'd seen before. And I think that it was very good. I mean, you always are, but it was really different.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was. I honestly felt. I wonder if you felt this way on Battlestar. It was just like, all of a sudden, I'm responsible to tell major story.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had never been. My job was to go and be like, and so it was really a huge undertaking to me. That was like film acting 101 for me, because it was repeated, and it was those Westworld 18-hour days and all that stuff. And it really tests your abilities to the limit, because now you're exhausted. There's been no preparation. It's just trying to process story, because it's your job, and it has to be good. And so it's that kind of like just unpacking of yourself, and you give yourself over to the process. So yeah, it was such a new experience for me to be able to fall fully.
This episode is brought to you by Masterclass. I have been leaning into learning again, because between acting, this podcast, and parenting, it is easy to feel like there is no time for me. And I started watching Masterclass in the mornings, just one lesson at a time. And it has actually changed the way that I approach my work and my day. Because let's be honest, as a parent, I'm terrified I'm going to screw up my kids. I mean, I know that I probably will, and probably not in the ways that I think that I will. But one of the things that I love right now is there is the science of parenting right now. And the first episode is called Your Burnout is Real. It talks about how we are all burned out, and for good reason, because the expectations have never been higher. I mean, we are literally raising little tiny humans, and it is so easy to feel lost. One thing that always helps me are the amazing mentors. Like, I have learned so much from Amy Poehler with Improv in Daily Life, and there is Mindy Kaling's class right now, Developing a Singular Voice, is wonderful. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. For as little as $10 a month, billed annually, you get unlimited access to over 200 classes taught by world-class actors, writers, leaders, chefs, more. I mean, honestly, there's not much that you could come up with that isn't on Masterclass. The lessons are bite-sized and easy to fit into even the busiest schedule. So I brought up Amy Poehler. For me, I loved the class on improv. It reminded me just how playful and how powerful play is, and spontaneity in life. I mean, these are things that we can actually take into our parenting, right? Right now, our listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/Katee. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/Katee. Masterclass.com/Katee. They're going to ask you where you heard. you tell him that the Sackhoff Show sent you, because if you want to support the show, you might as well learn something at the same time. Enjoy Masterclass.